She was born into British royalty, grew up in a literal castle, and had a multi-million-dollar trust fund waiting for her. But in January 2023, police found her car exploding on the side of a highway, and the only thing left inside was a trail of blood and a human placenta. No parents, and definitely no baby. This is the insane story of Constance Marten. Stay with me until the end. This story starts in 2014. Constance Marten is 27, the definition of having it all. She's posh, she's brilliant, she's a journalist for Al Jazeera. She's basically living the main character life in North London. One day, she walks into a small aromatic incense shop, and there he was. This is Mark Gordon. On paper, Mark wasn't just a red flag, he was a whole crimson parade. He's 13 years older, perpetually moody, and has a criminal record. Let's talk about Mark's troubling past. Back in 1989, when Mark was just 14, he wasn't playing video games. He was in Florida, breaking into a woman's house with a knife and a pair of hedge clippers. He held her hostage for 4 hours and brutally raped her. He was sentenced to 40 years behind bars in Florida. He served 20 years before being deported back to the UK in 2010. But Constance didn't see the 20 years he spent behind bars as a problem. She didn't see a criminal, she saw a misunderstood king. She claimed it was love at first sight. She was locked in from the very first breath of incense, convinced she'd found her soulmate in a North London shop. They started living this bohemian lifestyle, but behind the scenes, it was pure chaos. By 2016, they're having a fake wedding in Peru that isn't even legal in the UK. They weren't just a couple, they were becoming a cult of two. Mark told Constance he was framed, and Constance? She ate it up. She believed him over the court records. By 2019, the love story turns violent. Constance is 14 weeks pregnant when an ambulance is called to their flat. Why? Because she has a shattered spleen. The story? She fell out of a window. Mark reportedly refused to let the paramedics in at first. He didn't want the authorities sniffing around. This is where social services got involved. They take one look at their unconventional lifestyle, which, by the way, allegedly involved a lot of off-grid paranoia and zero stable housing and a couple other factors, and they say, yeah, no. Their first 4 kids are taken into care through investigations and family court decisions within a short period. They didn't think, are we doing something wrong? No, they thought, the government is out to get them because they're different. Talk about a delulu couple. By 2022, Constance is pregnant for the 5th time. And this time, she's determined that no one is taking this baby. She gives birth in secret on Christmas Eve in a rented cottage. They name the baby Victoria. But instead of fixing her life, the couple doubles down. Remember, she has a multi-million-dollar trust fund. She's getting thousands of pounds dropped into her account regularly. But instead of buying a house, she uses that money to fund a life on the run. She starts using fake names, speaking in a fake Irish accent to hospital staff, and claiming she's a traveller who grew up in a caravan. January 5, 2023. Their car bursts into flames outside Bolton. When the fire brigade puts it out, they find a scorched passport and a fresh placenta. No baby. For 55 days, these two are the most wanted people in Britain. They're taking taxis across the country, spending thousands on fares, but sleeping in a flimsy tent in the South Downs during a freezing January, despite having over £19,000 in her bank account. When they're finally nicked in Brighton, Mark's first words are, "What's the big deal?" Oh, but it was a huge deal. Because Victoria, the baby, wasn't with them. For 2 days, they refused to speak. Then, police searched a nearby allotment shed. Inside a trash heap, they found a pink sheet inside a little grocery bag. Inside that bag was Victoria. She had frozen to death in that tent while her parents were protecting her from the law. The trial was a circus. They went through 14 different lawyers. Mark even tried to represent himself. In September 2025, they were both handed 14 years in prison. The saddest part? Victoria would have been 2 years old the month they were sentenced. Researching these cases and making the videos takes hours. Your likes, comments and follows are the caffeine that keeps me going. It is completely free for you and means the world to me. Please hit the follow button and help me grow.